Hello, guys, and welcome back to the FPL Duo. We are back for the team selection video for game week 33. It's been a while. I feel like we haven't done a stream. Also, we didn't stream on Tuesday due to the Champions League. We thought we'd wait, and we thought we'd essentially wait and see, injuries and things like that. And we thought we'd just do it all in one again with the team selection and transfer tips. So we're back again for the team selection. Hope everyone's doing well. How you doing today, Jordan?
Yeah, I'm doing well. Almost the weekend again. Another game week lining up. Again, interesting one, I think, especially captaincy.
Yep.
There's going to be a lot of different captain picks and a lot of transfer moves. Considering the amount of football currently going on, might change some people's ideas.
Yeah, we'll quickly recap. Game week 32, and then we will discuss game week 33 and our transfer plans for that week as well. And we'll also do a little who you should be looking to bring in, etc. So let's start off with my team. So, in goal, I did have Petrovic, who conceded 2 goals against Sheffield, which was disappointing, but he did get 1 point for the saves. Udogi, 1-3-1, but did concede a goal to Forest. 8 Nouri, very unlucky, did get an assist, but was subbed off after 54 minutes due to an injury, which was frustrating, but he came away with 4 points. And Gabriel kept his clean sheet against Brighton. In the midfield, returns everywhere. Palmer, Son, both getting assists, I believe, in their wins, or Chelsea draws, but both of them got an assist. Saka did get a goal, a clean sheet, and the 2 bonus points after playing 63 minutes against Brighton, which was good, getting a 10-pointer. And then Salah did get a goal as well after converting the penalty in Liverpool's 2-2 draw. And he also came away with that 1 bonus point as well. As my captain, he ends up with 16 points. In the front three, Darwin did pick up an assist against United with a flick on for the header. Isak did blank against Fulham in the 1-0 win. And then Haaland did score and get the 2 bonus points after Man City's 4-2 victory at Crystal Palace as well. And on the bench, not really much to discuss. Kelleher, Garnacho, both blanking, as well as Van Heck, and Gusto wasn't involved in the squad. So all in all, that is 65 points for me this week. So a fantastic week. And that is a big green arrow, up to 79,803. So I'm in the top 80K now. So I'm very happy about that. And moving on to game week 33, I'm hoping to get into that top 50K next. So Jordan, same with you. Just quickly go through your game week 32, how it went.
Yeah, so this is how my team went, how it got on in 32. So goalkeeper, start off with him. Leno, not really much from him, no clean sheet. Fulham lost that 1-0. Leno did get a save point though, which leaves him with 3 points. Moving on to the back three, a bit more success. Doughty, no clean sheet for him. Bournemouth did score, but Luton did win that game, massive for them in terms of relegation. But I leave that with 2 points. Moving on to Brantwaite, he gets his clean sheet against Burnley. I think that was a very important one for them, especially at the bottom of the table. But yeah, a clean sheet for Brantwaite with 6 points. Same with Gabriel. He also gets 6 points for his clean sheet against Brighton in that 3-0 win. So yeah, I'm happy with the back of the defence, but a bit more success compared to last game week. Moving on to the midfield 5. Not so much luck from Gordon. He did get a clean sheet point, but no involvement in the only goal that Newcastle scored against Fulham. So only leaves him with 3. Salah, on the other hand, he did score the penalty rewarded against Man United in that 2-2 draw, and also got the bonus 1, which leaves him on 8 points. Moving on to Palmer, he also gets an assist from one of the goals scored against Sheffield in that draw again. Palmer did come off early in that second half. It's only playing 73 minutes, but because of that assist, he ends up on 5 points. Saka, he gets the double haul, scores the goal, gets a clean sheet, also gets the bonus 2 with only playing around 63 minutes. So yeah, nice return for Saka, especially for the captain managers there. And last in the midfield, we've got Son, who only gets an assist in that 3-1 win over Nottingham Forest. Felt like he could have got a bit more. if his shots were more clinical, but he ends up on 5. And finally, the front two, Haaland, he manages to score a goal in that massive 4-2 win over Crystal Palace. Also rewarded with bonus points as well, leaving him on 8 points. And finally, my captain flopped this week. Obviously not this week, even Gameweek 32, which was Muniz, which I released him with 4 points. He played about 85 minutes, but no returns from him or Fulham in that game. And just quickly on the bench, not really much talk about. Semenyo played about 68 minutes. I believe he came off with an injury, but he is flagged currently with a yellow, so he should play next game week, but it's just a not currently. But overall, it's not been a terrible week. It is a red arrow. I was originally on 52k, but I did drop down to 60k rank, so it's an 8,000 red arrow. A total game week points 56. So yeah, I think if my captain did well and didn't blank, I felt like it could have been a small green arrow, but it did finish me off on a small red.
Okay, that's Gaming 32 out of the way. Let's pull up Gaming 33 and our bus teams for that week. So this is my Gaming 33 team currently lining up. That's how it looks. So in goal, I've got Kelleher, who's got Crystal Palace at home. I mean, looking at Liverpool are actually playing tonight. I think Kelleher starts. Obviously, Alisson still, I don't believe, is back from injury. But I don't think Alisson's on the bench either. So you should expect Kelleher to start against Palace. Hopefully, it is a clean sheet there for Liverpool. Back three, you've got Gusto, Aït-Nouri, Gabriel. I think the fixtures are fine for all three defenders. I've got Van Heck currently on the bench. Now, Aït-Nouri is still flagged. If I hear Aït-Nouri is still injured and is going to miss the Forest game, I will just bring Van Heck on, who's got a decent fixture against Burnley, which I'm happy to play him for. Into the midfield four, I've got Salah, Saka, Son, Palmer. Again, looking at the fixtures, they're pretty decent. You know, Salah's got Crystal Palace at home. I think it's a nice fixture for him. He's also been rested tonight, so he will be fresh for that Palace game, as well as Luis Diaz, who's been rested for those that own him. Palmer's got a good fixture at home to Everton. Son, I don't mind the Newcastle away fixture for him. The Saka's got Villa at home. Up front, I've got Isak, Darwin, and Haaland. Quite happy with the way the fixtures look for Darwin. Palace at home. He's starting tonight, so we'll have to see how many minutes he does get. Isak's got Spurs at home, good fixture. And then Haaland's got Luton at home. Now, we know Man City did play, was it Tuesday? They played in the Champions League against Real Madrid in the crazy 3-3 draw. So there is some rumours whether Haaland will start against Luton. Again, we're going to give it as much time as possible if we hear any early team news in regards to Haaland. But I think Haaland should start. I mean, looking at the fixtures, we won't actually hear because it's a 3 o'clock kickoff on a Saturday with Man City. But if Haaland isn't starting, we get any leaks or rumours or anything, I'm going to switch the captaincy armband. But as of now, Haaland is my captain, who's got a good fixture against Luton at home. And I don't see any reason why he shouldn't start, even though he did play, obviously, against Madrid. But it's one to watch. Obviously, there could be rotation there. And then finally, on the bench, we've got Petrovic, Garnacho, Van Heck, and Udogi. So even my bench has some decent fixtures. You know, Garnacho's got a Bournemouth away. Udogi's got Newcastle away. So I'm actually in a pretty strong position because when you look at my team, I don't really need a transfer. However, I do need to make a move because I've got 2 free transfers because I did roll last week and I'm free hitting in Game Week 34. So I have to use both my free transfers no matter what. So let me explain, guys, what my plan is because there's so many ways I can go, but I'm not sure what I want to do. So what I can do, I'm looking at a goalkeeper switch. Even though Kelleher has a great fixture this week, which I am annoyed about taking Kelleher out, I could play Petrovic, who's got Everton at home this week. So I am looking at Kelleher out to bring in Onana. Now, the reason why Onana would sit on the bench straight away, but as you see, the money-wise, I'm a bit tight there. But let's say it's Onana. What that would let me do, essentially, is playing Onana in the double in 37. So it's not a great fixture against Arsenal and Newcastle, but it's 2 home games, and Onana could rack up some save points. So it's just a future planning. When I bench boost in 37, I want a doubling goalkeeper. Onana doubles, so I could be tempted to bring Onana in ahead of that double game week 37 And then he's also got some decent fixtures as well in 35 and 36. So I know Man United aren't great, but it's more for the double in the future. And then what I can also do is take out someone like I'm not sure. That's why I am a bit stuck on what to do. I could even take out 8 Nuri, possibly. But the way my funds are stretched, I don't even know if I could bring Onana in. So have a look. I mean, how much is Dan Burn? I mean, Dan Burn's is quite pricey now at 4.5. I can't actually even get to Dan Burn. So I don't know what I want to do in terms of transfers because I've got my team how I pretty much want it. Not really where I can go. I've looked at Dan Burn because Dan Burn had a double in 37 as well. That's been confirmed now against Brighton and Man United. And Dan Burn isn't bad to bench boost that week. So I'm not against bringing in a Dan Burn. But looking at the rest of my team, I'm quite happy with it. So it may not have to be Onana then, really. But let's say I bring Dan Burn in instead of Onana. I mean, I don't know what goalie I can get for 4.5. That doubles in 37. I mean, Pickford is one I could do, and Pickford has a double in. Sorry, he doubles in 34. But I'll be thinking anyway. Free hitting, but Pickford does have a nice fixture in 37. I know it's not a double, but it's a Sheffield at home, so I'm not against bringing in a Pickford, which I've also considered. But really, where else would you go in terms of defense and goalkeepers, Jordan? Because obviously Dan Burn is one, Brampthwaite. Is there anyone else I'm missing?
What about this player? Probably won't play because I imagine the player before him will come back in the team. But what about what's the Liverpool defender? That's cheap.
Oh, Bradley.
Yeah, Conor Bradley. I know he probably won't play
Yeah.
maybe in the full long future, but he's cheap. That's the only thing.
I mean, that's why I've ignored Bradley in my wild card 31 because Bradley, I know Trent is back. Trent is actually in training. He's not playing tonight. Bradley's not playing either tonight, but Trent is actually. I've just actually looked at Liverpool's bench. Wow, Trent is on the bench after a couple of months out. It feels like Trent's on the bench. Bradley's on the bench. Bajcetic is on the bench. So yeah, Liverpool have a very strong bench again. So
interesting.
Yeah. That's looking at it. That's where I'm planning on going. But in terms of my team, I don't actually know what to do. In terms of my goalkeeper, because let me see the fixtures again. I'm trying to see who doubles in 37. Because the 37 doubles were confirmed. Man United, obviously I can't get Onana because he's quite expensive. Brighton double. Spurs don't double. Yeah, sorry, Spurs double. So maybe a Vicario.
I think he's expensive though.
Yeah, he will be in it.
Yeah, he's one of those high expense goalkeepers.
I'm trying to think where I can go to.
Crystal Palace don't double in 37, do they? They 34 double.
Yeah, 37. I need a 37 doubler, or Everton, who's got a decent fixture against Sheffield at home. So that's why with my transfer plans, I don't really know what I'm going to do. I might just keep Kelleher and just burn a transfer and just do burn in for 8 Nuri. If I find out 8 Nuri is not going to start, I'll just do 8 Nuri to Dan Burn. As I said, because Dan Burn had a double in 37, which I could bench boost for. I can't really bench boost Kelleher, so that is the problem. Any 4.5 goalie that I can bring in that has a decent fixture in 37, which maybe someone like Flecken. Is he 4.5 still, or
Flecken? He is 4.6.
Yeah. So again, I am quite short on that. So I'm gonna have to plan what to do, guys. So again, I'm not sure. So at the moment, it's looking at Dan Burn in possibly. But yeah, Jordan, same to you. Let's pull up your team and talk us through what your plans are.
Yeah, so this is my team, how it stands going forward into Gameweek 33. So in goal, I have Leno, who has West Ham away, and seeing as I don't have a reserve goalkeeper to play in place for Leno, because Area is out injured, he won't be playing against Fulham at home. So again, this game week I will be playing him instead, who's got West Ham away. And again, I don't really expect a clean sheet, rather just save points and seeing how many he can get. But yeah, hopefully he can get 1 or 2. I think every point counts at this moment in time at this stage of the season, but we'll wait and see. Moving on to the back three. So there's some tough fixtures these back three have. So Doughty has Man City away, which you can already assume that's not going to be a clean sheet for Luton, but there is a possibility Doughty could get an attack in return, as he has shown that so far this season. Maybe not as many in recent game weeks, but it has been a bit quiet from him. But he has had the chances to provide them. It's just they haven't had the finishing touches on Doughty's crosses into the box. But yeah, it will be an interesting fixture, I think, for both teams. Next defender, Brantwaite. Yes, Chelsea away, and you never know what you're going to expect from Chelsea games. But Everton do keep a clean sheet last game week for their home fixture against Burnley. So yeah, there's no. I wouldn't be surprised if Everton actually keep a clean sheet against Chelsea. But then again, that you have that threat of Palmer, who has been excellent for them, and yeah, it is going to be. I don't expect a clean sheet for them either, but maybe Everton can nick one. We'll have to wait and see. And finally, Gabriel, who completes the back three, has Aston Villa at home. And again, this is a very important game for Arsenal in the title race, especially with Liverpool drawn to Man United. That has pushed Arsenal into the top spot again over goal difference as they're level on points. But yeah, Gabriel is I'll say an important player. I think in defence, I feel like he's irreplaceable at this moment. Same with Saka. Any Arsenal assets, I think, now are really important to own, and yeah, Gabriel's one of them. He's kept a lot of clean sheets for Arsenal, and Arsenal have kept the most clean sheets this season in comparison to other teams. So yeah, he's definitely a keeper, and I will be starting him as I don't have any choice really. But moving on to the midfield five, so I've got Gordon, who has Tottenham at home, and yeah, again, Spurs' defence does question me at times, and especially that Nottingham Forest game, that could have easily been not 3-1. That could have been a draw if there was more clinical, obviously, from Nottingham Forest's side. But yeah, I'm very confident playing Gordon against Tottenham at home. Who knows what will happen in that fixture? Even with Newcastle having so many injuries, they did still manage to get a win in the last game weeks, which I didn't think they would against Fulham, especially in an away game as well. I feel like it's been ages since Newcastle have won an away fixture, but this one is at home, so that does provide a lot more confidence in Newcastle's play style. But yeah, again, a nice wait and see. Should be a good fixture for both teams. Moving on to Salah, he's got Crystal Palace at home, which I think, yeah, this could be a possible popular captain pick this week for Salah, and obviously Crystal Palace struggling through the season, especially losing their manager, and now they've appointed one now. So he is my vice. I don't think I'll be captaining him for this week, but he is a strong candidate for that game. Moving on to the next midfielder, that is Palmer, who's currently got the captaincy over him. He's got Everton at home, so he's playing against Brantwaite. And yeah, I'm split with the captaincy. It's either between him or Haaland, but it's currently on Palmer at the moment. I just still think he has a chance to possibly score in that game, whether it's from open play or penalties. It seems like Chelsea are getting a lot of penalties this season. So with Palmer as the penalty taker, I wouldn't be surprised if he does get a goal from him if Everton do make mistakes, which they have done previously. So yeah, should be an interesting game. Whether Chelsea win that one or not, there should be a lot of goals involved from both sides. But moving on to Saka, who I did mention beforehand, so he's got Aston Villa at home. He comes off of a double haul of 10 points for scoring in the last match, and Aston Villa at home. It's going to be tough, but as we've seen, Aston Villa do play a high line in terms of football, so it does make them vulnerable on the counter. So yeah, I think Arsenal take a lot of advantage on that in that game. So, and it's important for them to get those 3 points to stay in that title race as well. So, yeah, I think Saka again, hard to sell, hard to do anything with him apart from playing him in your starting 11. And finally, moving on to Son, who's got Newcastle away. And he was my transfer 2 game weeks ago, but so far he's only given me 1 assist. Bit underwhelming considering I was going to go without Son, but then I thought I can't have him scoring goals while not owning him, but hasn't quite worked out so far. He has Newcastle away, so he is playing against Son. He is playing against Gordon in that fixture, so there is some clashes there between the two, but hopefully he can get a bit more success from the chances obviously Son creates in his game. And moving on to the front two, Haaland, who's got Luton at home. I think that's a great fixture. It's just I've heard rumours that obviously he may or may not start. So if you do decide to captain him, make sure your vice obviously is on a appropriate player, just in case. But I feel like he will start. He needs to, in terms of what the stake is in terms of Premier League and where Man City are at the moment. I think regardless of how many matches Pep is going to play, obviously play these players in the games. So yeah, Haaland's of most importance to get that home fixture at the Etihad. Moving to the last sport, that is Muniz, who has West Ham away. I think this will be the last week I own him for, and then I might possibly get rid of him next game week when obviously there's a double in 34. I'll give him one more chance. He has given me a lot of success in recent game weeks, especially when I free hitted.
Sorry, Jordan, you're moving around your mic there. You're just going very. Yeah, can hear you. Yeah, it's a lot of crackling noise.
Is it stopped?
Yeah, it's fine now.
But yeah, I got Muniz. He did well for me in the blank game week 29 when I used my free hit. Rewarded me with a nice double haul points in that game week, and so far he hasn't been that returning that many. I think he's had a back-to-back blank, but hopefully he can get something out of that West Ham game away. And the situation on the bench, it seems to have got worse because all my players now have a flag. Even Semenyo, who currently has a knock at the moment, but he should be fighting against Man United at home. And I don't think I'm going to play him anyway. But
yeah,
I would like to have a player on the bench just in case if anything happens. But yeah, in terms of the rest of the bench, they're all out for game week 33. So in terms of the transfer plans, I will switch over to the other tab and show you what I am going to do. So I have 1 free transfer and 2 million in the bank. So let me just scroll down and show you what I'm going to do. So I'm going to stick to my original plan. I'm going to take Ake out of my defense because I need another defender. I don't think I'll be playing Doughty against Man City. I think that's a tough fixture to start off with. And the player I'm going to bring in for Ake is going to be Reguilon. And he has a nice fixture against Sheffield United. And I think if he could do well like he did last game week, so see, he got 2 assists against Aston Villa in that 3-3 draw. And he only played 75 minutes in that game. And his ownership is only 1.8%. And he's very cheap at 4.4 million. So I think in terms of fixtures, Brentford's fixtures are really nice until the end of the season when they have obviously Newcastle at home being their toughest one. Apart from that, it's a nice run of fixtures for Brentford players. They may not double, and I might put people off. But I'm going to take a little cheeky differential punt this week and see if it pays off or not. But in terms of everything else, I'm happy with the rest of the team. Obviously, I will have to figure out what I'm going to do in double game week 34 because I don't have as many doubles as I wanted to have, and obviously I have no chips available. So, but that is going to be my transfer. It does leave me 2.6 million, so a little bit more extra money in the bank, and it does give me 1 extra bench option if needed to be used in game week 33.
Okay, lovely. So you're looking at bringing in Reguilon as your move. Let's take a few comments. Got Patrick. Hi, lads. What moves do you prefer? Morris, Foden out, if not starting against Luton for Darwin, Sarabia, or Mateta, Luis Diaz? I mean, because Luis Diaz has actually been rested this tonight, I would be tempted with Luis Diaz ahead of Darwin. And we know Liverpool have a double in 34. Diaz could be a nice little differential. But Jota is back. Jota's on the bench tonight, which is another massive boost for Liverpool. So it's interesting to see. Gaming 34 has become very interesting because if you're on a free hit in Gaming 34 like myself, differentials like Jota and Trent could be amazing essentially because no one's going to have them because they've been out for so long. So, but yeah, Foden's 100% missing out. I like Luis Diaz. What do you do with 2 free transfers and no chips left to play? 1.4 million in the bank, no chips. So Dubravka, Kaminsky, Gabriel, 8 Nuri, Van Heck, Maguire, Zabani, Saka, Foden, Salah, Palmer, Son, Haaland, Solanke, Morris. I would be tempted to bring in a Luis Diaz for a Foden. Personally, I would want to have another Liverpool attacker going into Gaming 34 with just Salah. I would like another one personally. I mean, do you have a suggestion here, Jordan?
The double game at 34. It's kind of in a similar position to me. I have no chips left to play, and you've got 2 of them with 1.4 million in the bank. I probably trying to see who you don't have that could be worth going for double game at 34. Possibly a Man United forward, possibly Højlund, or maybe
they don't double in 34.
Oh, yeah, that's 37. Oh, yeah. So in that case, I can't. Yeah, I'm not too sure.
I mean, one you could go for in a striker I don't hate. Interesting pick because no one's looking at him, I don't think, because he doubles in 35 and doubles in 37. Nicholas Jackson. Now, I know Nicholas Jackson sometimes, he's frustrating to own, but Nicholas Jackson, if you're looking for a striker, could be interesting because he has double 35 and double 37. And he's just a different pick that no one's going to be looking at. Just one thing to consider there. But in regards to, I like the Luis Diaz in for yourself. And Robert also says, hi, guys. Hi, Robert. Hope you're well. Robert. But yeah, essentially going back to my team, as you guys know, I'm also on, that's the only thing with Jackson, to be fair. The yellows, one more, I think. And then he's going to miss 2 games, I think it is. So yeah, that is a risk, but obviously he had a couple of doubles coming up. I might just make 1 free transfer, which is and burn 1 essentially, which I don't really want to do. But I just can't afford a goalkeeper. I was thinking, is there any way I could drop Saka down to someone else? But if I sell Saka, I'll miss the Aston Villa games, and he could do well against Aston Villa. I'm not worried about the 34 because I can free hit him back in. Spurs, I'm not worried about going without him. Then Bournemouth would be a worry. But I don't think I'm willing to sell Saka, to be honest. But and to raise money to upgrade Kelleher somewhere. But after 34, I probably will sell Darwin. I think after double gaming 34, Darwin could be on the move from my team for someone like a Jackson or a Højlund or whoever that had the double, possibly. But yeah, I'm not sure yet. So do tune in on Saturday, guys, for the deadline stream. It should be a good one.
Also a question about your back 3. Have you considered playing Van Heck over Gusto? Because we know how obviously Chelsea lack clean sheets, and
yeah,
I feel like Gusto hasn't had an attack and return since I think game week 28 or 27. I think that was the last time he got an assist from the games. But I think even much earlier, I think game week 18 is since Chelsea have had a clean sheet. Would you rather go with Van Heck, and maybe there's more likelihood of a clean sheet against Burnley away, and maybe he can get something more out of the game?
I mean, Van Heck might play instead of 8 Nuri, because I might transfer out 8 Nuri. As good as 8 Nuri's been, if 8 Nuri is serious, which I don't know if he is because he's got a calf injury, Dan Burn is most likely to come in, and I'll bench Dan Burn because Dan Burn has Tottenham. So I'd bench Dan Burn and then play Van Heck, Gusto, and Gabriel going forward. So yeah, I am actually looking at playing Van Heck because he's got Burnley away, which is a pretty decent fixture for himself. So yeah, that's where I'm at with the team. But the goalie situation, I definitely want to sort out because Keller is good this week, but Keller is probably going to lose his spot going forward. But I'll have to plan how to navigate it because I've not got any money in the bank essentially, and I'm going to have to downgrade somewhere to upgrade my goalkeeper really to bench boost. I have Gabriel and Saka. What third Arsenal player would you recommend, Jordan? If you had to recommend an Arsenal third,
I would probably say Odegaard as a third Arsenal player. I think second to obviously Saka and Gabriel. I think Odegaard is another great option in addition to the team, especially if Saka goes off. You do see more involvement from Odegaard, and when Saka didn't play in the game before this, Odegaard did actually score.
I mean, I would go with Havertz. I think Havertz is also a pick I like because he's playing up front for Arsenal right now. He's playing as a number 9. He's getting chances. He's going to get shots away. So for me, it's Havertz. If I had to pick, I like him with a differential. Just joined. Could Jota be a punt for the double? Oh yeah, obviously the big news is Trent and Jota are on the bench tonight in Liverpool's Europa League match. So I think with Jota, see what he does tonight if he comes on. If he comes on and looks sharp, see what he does in 33. Does he get minutes against Palace? Because the worry is with Jota and Trent having them in a free hit. Will they play both in the double? Because you take a look at Liverpool's fixtures. They play tonight, then they got Palace on Sunday. Then after that, a week rest, and then they got Sunday, Wednesday. So essentially, they've got 2 games. Sorry, they've got 3 games in a week, Liverpool. Is Jota, Trent, etc. going to start both these games when they've got West Ham, on Saturday? So there will definitely be rotation. And you look at Liverpool's bench today. Liverpool's bench is the strongest it's been all season. Everyone is there. The only players Liverpool have out injured now is Alisson, who's back next week, and then Matip, who's out for the season, and Thiago, who's always a long-term injury anyway. But other than that, everyone is back for Liverpool. It's the strongest Liverpool team we've seen in a long time, I think, in months. So there will be rotation.
Yeah, realistically, just from that little gap in between each of those 3 matches, I don't see them starting everyone. I think they'll be benched, and then obviously they're coming for like 20 or so minutes. So yeah, that double game week, if you do decide to bring one of them in, don't be surprised if one of them is benched for one game and then the other one they play for, because they don't want re-injuries, and Klopp won't throw them into the deep end straight away, especially.
Yeah, I think we have to see what happens tonight and then again on Sunday, because if Jota gets a couple minutes here and there, I think what Klopp says about them as well, I think in the press conferences. But yeah, you would be surprised if Jota started. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Jota started like 2 of the 3, but you could expect an early sub. Maybe he plays an hour, comes off. Obviously, every striker now for Liverpool's fit. Gakpo's there, Diaz is there, Nunes is there, Salah, and Jota's now back. So there will be rotation depending on fixtures. And obviously, at this crunch time of the title, Liverpool going multiple fronts, Premier League and Europa League, they will have to manage the minutes. But I still like Jota for a double. So if I could bring him in on a free hit, I would be tempted because no one's really going to have Jota. No one can really get to Jota unless you're on a free hit. I mean, taking a look at his let's have a look at his ownership. I mean, this 1.8%, and probably those managers are people that have stopped playing the game, inactive managers. So we know Jota what he can do. I think he's got 9 goals already so far this season, and he's probably played about 9 matches. So definitely a good differential, but I say wait and see how it goes. But yeah, we're gonna wrap it up here, guys. I want to say a big thank you to everyone for watching the stream. If you have enjoyed the content, please do smash the like button, guys. It really helps support the channel, and also make sure you are subscribed to the FPL Duo YouTube channel as well. Join our mini league as well if you want. Test yourself in our league. Comments, check out the comments. All the links are in the description below. So like, subscribe, share as well if you can, and we will see you again on Saturday morning for the deadline stream for Gameweek 33. Should be a good one. Make sure you guys tune in.
Yeah, thank you guys for watching. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your week, and we'll see you on Saturday morning for the deadline stream.